Hey, bro fans, this is Todd. I decided to do a really quick video on Jitsu. My wife just found him today at Target. Hey, Elise, was it Target you found him at? Hey, Elise, was it Target that you found him at? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Target. And so she brought him home. So that's kind of cool. And so I thought I would go ahead and make a live video showing me unboxing him. Now, in about 45 minutes, I do have another video coming up. It's not going to be live, but it's going to be, I'll be there talking with you guys while it's going, and it's my review of the new Revelation cartoon. I finally got it done. Hey, James, thanks for joining us. And the whole review is about the cartoon, how I think about it, and a little synopsis of the storyline. So we'll put that together. All right, let's go ahead and get this guy open and check him out. So here is Jitsu. Now, I don't know if all your guys have crazy eyes like this. Did I forget all my lights in the other room? I did. I'm gonna have to use this light right here. If you take a look though, he has kind of a crazy eyes going on, where his eyes are kind of almost widespread instead of normal close together. So it's kind of strange looking. But let me know if yours is the same way or not. And let's go ahead and look at the back of the box at the top. And it says, ever searching for an opponent who can match him in combat? Jitsu channels dark energies to enhance his fighting power. Includes comic book. So there it is. And it shows put sword in hand and twist into powerful battle pose positions. There it is. So far I've got all of them now except for her. Still looking for her. But as you guys saw, I did a Buzz Off video and a Stratos video. Now I got Jitsu. And of course I had Skeletor and He-Man. That I think those are the second releases they have with the new heads. So there you go. Let's get them open. Yeah, the art always does look really cool. I've always appreciated the art in the back. Hey Jeff. Yep, thanks for joining me. And don't forget, in about 45 minutes I got another video coming up I've been working on for days, so it should be good. It is my Revelation Part 2 review. Alright, let's take a look at the comic. So we have Challenge of Jitsu. And you can see it. I think I already showed this one before when I think about it. He beats up all kinds of stuff. He's just hiya slapping. Oh, and He-Man threw him for a ride. You know, He-Man, that's unfair, using the power of Grayskull to fight people like that. He's just looking for a good, fair fight. He's not looking for some guy just to beat him to a pulp. All right, and let's see what's removable on him. All the parts. Awesome. Hey, Mike, thanks for joining me. Yes, the gold color looks really cool on him. It's way different than the gold. You know, I'm going to grab that light. You guys can stay here and stare at Jitsu for a minute while I go grab my light. So we can get a better look at him. I got all my lights in here. I just asked my wife if he was the only Jitsu there with the, because his eyes are so cockeyed looking, and she said he was. So she said they had lots of Skeletors and other. Now I can see his eyes now. That's just funny. So let me know if you guys got him. So let's get him out of here. Ugh. There we go. Cutting the strings. Well, I can already see he's got a problem with his elbow. That stinks. I always hate that when their elbows are mislocated like that. You can see how gapped his elbow is. So I should have brought some hot water with me, but I wasn't planning ahead because I decided to, at the spur of the moment, make this video as I finished the other one. But anyway, if you have this problem, best way to fix it is to take some hot water, pull it out, and then cut the pin and put it back in. That seems to fix the problem. All right, now the Jitsu in the 80s, right here used to have a big old open area because they made it out of hollow material. And I remember trying to fill that in, and one time I filled one in with some two-part epoxy, that rock solid stuff, and then I painted it with gold, and the gold never solidified, so it was always sticky right there, really stunk. But you notice they gave him a nice chrome hand, which is different than we had in the 80s, so that's pretty cool. I don't believe his hand was chrome in the 80s. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think it was. Maybe it was. Maybe that's why they had it hollow like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about his articulation. Ankle, boot, knees, upper leg, twist. Do the twist. Yeah. Anyway, and then let's try his chopping action. Hooba! Oh, wait, he doesn't actually chop. That would be so cool if he had a spring-loaded arm. Oh, Mattel. And then his head, his other arm, and that's about it. And his armor, that of course, comes off on the sides and then flops over his head once you pull his head off, which I'm not going to do because of fear of breaking the figure so they have no hot water. King Randor has the same armor. He does, but it's actually painted differently. Now, I don't know the difference between this one and the King Randor we're going to get, but they were slightly different. In fact, what's funny is King Randor's armor on the 80s figure would not fit on Fisto. I actually accidentally bought King Randor's armor one time on eBay, and because Fisto's body was a little bit larger, just like not Fisto, but Jitsu's, just like Fisto's bodies was, is the same size because they made it a little larger to house the bigger shoulders. And so the armor, even though it looked the same, was not the same size for those figures, which really shocked me because I figured they used the same molds, but I guess they did not. That was really weird back in the 80s. All right, let's find Jitsu's counterpart, Fisto. Now you have to admit, look how colorful Jitsu looks next to Fisto. Fisto just looks ultra boring. I'm sorry, but he's just so boring looking. I don't know why to me, he just does not pop much. Maybe it's the secondary colors, but we have other characters that have secondary colors and they still pop. I mean, look, this guy with the orange and the green and the red eye, I mean, he just, I mean, Triclops has always just popped with his mix of colors, and both of his colors are secondary colors, the green and the orange. I don't know. It's just something about the purple and silver just do not, you know, really spring. Oh, I forgot his weapon. Almost forgot his sword, the Jitsu sword. Now, the sword in the 80s had a little piece on it so that it had a hand guard, but it was almost like the blade went backwards, like they messed up or something. Because I think the blade's supposed to be this sharp part right here in front. I'm guessing this is the front right here, the curve, and this is the back. That's what I'm assuming. And so, to me, it makes sense that it goes like this with the curve going towards the back. But if you put it in his hand that way, you couldn't because the guard was on this side of the sword in the 80s, so it wouldn't fit in his hand that way. Let's look at the back of the box, since I have the box right here, and let's see what it shows. Well, it doesn't show enough of the curve, but it does show the double side right here on the back, and that's where the double side is right there on the back, so that must be the back side. Whew, gotta be some way to figure that out. Oh, he looks cool, except for the eyes. All right, so I do have one coming from Big Bad Toy Store. I was gonna cancel the order, but now I'm not. I can get one without the crooked eyes. Let's see, Leroy Jones, he says the eyes on his are perfectly straight. Does the original have black lips too? Well, it sounds funny. I have an original Jitsu, but I do have an original Jitsu head. So let's go ahead and take a look at that head. Yeah, a long time ago when I started getting really big in the classics, I had this crazy hair idea of selling all my 80s figures except for a few that I really liked. And so I remember one time I sold my Horde as one big set, and I was pretty upset about it because I did not get much for it, which is funny because I had like 7 Horde troopers and all kinds of other things. Okay, here's the original head from the 80s. So you guys could do a comparison. And yes, he does have black lips. Look at the color tone difference. So I know this is a classics figure, but I wanted to use the original 80s head. So you can see I did the O-ring trick to make it work and cut it all around. And you could see the difference between the 80s head and the new one. Wow, I can't believe this color difference is so much. So I was thinking about just grabbing one of these heads and using it for instead of using my 80s head. But actually the 80s head actually looks better. It's funny, in a way, he looks almost like Bart Simpson. See, let me focus that in right there. He has kind of that Bart Simpson kind of look, the way his eyes are on his nose. Marge! Yeah. Not Bart, I'm sorry, Homer. Bart Simpson. Looks like Homer Simpson. There we go. That's what I meant to say. Whew. Okay, what are the 4 characters in Wave 8? I'm not sure. Ugly He-Man returning. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, really? Merman is hard to find with his eyes not crossed. So now I have to look at my Merman and see. Merman! Oh, his eyes look okay. I pulled him out at first, but then I realized they are different mermen. All right, so don't forget, tonight in about half an hour, let's see, what time is it now here? Right now, yep, in about half an hour, tune back in for my next video. It will be how I feel about Revelation and the whole thing about it. All right, am I reconnected now? You hate Stinker, I hate Anti-Attorney Man. Oh, talking to somebody else like, what? I don't hate Stinkor. So it was funny. I did grab my Stinkor. Where'd he go? The one in the bag. I got the one still in the box. There he is. And I did have my daughter smell him, the one in the bag, and she said he didn't smell that bad. So I'm still wondering. We finally got rid of the smell in the house. I guess it lingered up until a couple days ago, and it was just, my wife's like, oh, you can still smell it. So I'm probably going to have her smell him in the bag coming up here pretty soon, just so she can tell me how he smells now. But yeah. Oh, look at the cool. You know what? I'm sorry. Classics is just so cool. Now, I know this is not the head that came with Classics. The head was too bean, so I did end up using a 80s head. But the Classics figures are so much cooler. Look, it's even got the cool swords on the back. Anyway, I'll stop grooving on the classic stuff and get back to oh, that stinks about his elbow being loose. You know what? I'm not going to fix his elbow until I get my other one from Big Bad Toy Store to see if all of them have that issue or just the one single one. It'd be kind of cool to find out. Wish I had my hot water so I can pull off his hand. Oh, it's almost coming off. Can I get it off without... Ooh. No, it's too tight. It needs hot water to get off. But this comes apart. Oh man. I just realized, son, you could do some gruesome deaths with these guys. You could have him take his sword and, you know, Fisto comes up for the block and slides off his wrist and then whammo. That is awful. I did not even realize that. The one that did not have the button on his back is the one that came with the battle ram. So the figure with the battle ram, that Skeletor did not have the button on his back. Man, my internet's just stinking tonight. All right, you guys, I want to let you go. My internet's stinking, and make sure to tune back in a little bit here, and we will watch that other video together. It's pretty cool, and it's all about Revelation. So, yeah, I see that. I should have done a speed check before I did my video. Oh, there's my timer. All right, like, subscribe, tell your friends to join tonight too, and you should be able to see it on my channel to link to it. Hopefully the video is done uploading by now. I'll be posting it on Facebook as well. And if you check it out, I cannot believe how much that dungeon went for. It's crazy. I'm surprised it sold for so much. So thank you, all of you, for bidding it up. I appreciate that. And thanks to the person who purchased it too. Well, you guys are really, really typing. All right. Thanks, you guys. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. Bye now.